the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got the Vikings leader at quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Vikings and the Lions, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up second down. You talk about this Lions defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
They're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. This defense for the Lions, they were excellent a week ago in Pittsburgh.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about the performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
So now the Lions go on offense in a great starting spot. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. but they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here.
Gibbs gets popped and he loses the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do? Rocky. Two Rockies.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves. If we're going to have that kind of a reference, they've got to get it together and start playing a little bit better.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They go ahead and snap it. Goff, flush to his right. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. St. Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point forthcoming. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the...
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsom.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense all day, because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And as this offense makes their way back. AFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Once more Montgomery. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Gibbs is in for a Lions touchdown. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. If they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go all over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You talk about this Lions defense. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely want to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. Now a 2nd and 2 as they've got it as we resume action. Play action. It's gone. Oh, the ball comes out. They'll say it's incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
We're good.
3rd and 2. Goff. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Back deep is DJ Chark. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. And now out comes Minnesota. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays. Oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Back to throw here. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, and no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Lions turned away on fourth down, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He lets one go deep to Addison, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Fielded at about the 28. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And Detroit getting set to go now. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 56 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off play action. Here's Goff. And that'll be caught with St. Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Gibbs straight ahead. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Goff. Going underneath. Gibbs has it. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
Montgomery is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove. They're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And fighting down inside the 25. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Brian Branch with it. And the Lions will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. The last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better. And
this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown! St. Brown with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point right down the middle, and the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Able to push his way through. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We begin up in Maryland with one of the better games of the entire weekend. Green Bay taking on Baltimore. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From the former home of the Colts to their current home, we head west to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home
at Bank of America Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Bucs. In the first half, it was the veteran quarterback Jared Goff who had command of the offense. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Back to throw, Goff. And it is caught. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Second and 14. Pass complete to Addison. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Still to go. Third down now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. And fights through one man. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A shotgun snap for Goff. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Aiden Hutchinson drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking on the midfield logo. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. A little juke. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Goff. His throw caught at about the 5.
And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. David Montgomery hitting double
taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs. Into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and it is 42-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to the top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll look to throw again. He gets it to Addison. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Addison, 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Lions' 35-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. DJ Chark, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Detroit's offense ready to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Now this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nit. They only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even go into fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, because they did get it.
It worked.
51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
In motion goes Raymond. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
That's a good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Looking to throw, Hooker.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem, just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
He's got it complete to Gibbs.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
A give, right side for Gibbs.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Crocker, 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Another run for Gibbs here. Down at the 25.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. On the give, here's Gibbs.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's 3rd and 3. Off play action. Here's Hooker.
Stays on his feet, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Hand off now to Gibbs.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Here's Gibbs.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the